left-hand side now, as we pass through the bridge, you'll see there's a gap between the first two buildings. As we come closer, up that gap, you'll start to see a tall stone column with a golden ball of flame at the top. This is Sir Christopher Wren's monument to the Great Fire of London. The monument stands 202 feet high, and it's situated in an easterly direction, which is the direction we're travelling in. It would strike the exact spot where the Great Fire was said to have started, that being a small baker's shop in Pudding Lane. Also to our left, the Yellow Brick Building. This is one of the oldest buildings anywhere in the city. It's the original Billingsgate Fish Market. There was a fish market famously registered on that site for over 1,000 years, until sadly, a few years ago, in the 80s, the tradition was broken and the fish market was moved further downriver to larger premises in the Docklands area. The building's now been converted into a luxury function hall, and the last remnants of the old fish market are the two golden fish weather lanes at either end. Just behind that building, though, to our left, you'll see another one of London's newest buildings. This weird-shaped one that gets wider as it gets taller. That's been given the nickname the Walkie-Talkie. It actually hasn't even got a name, it's just known as number 20 Fenchurch Street. But as is commonplace with all the new modern day glass buildings, it has a viewing gallery. You look at the top there, you'll see those people pottering around up there. But that's a viewing gallery with a bit of a difference. It's an indoor botanical garden called the Sky Garden of London. And it's absolutely free to go up. Absolutely free. All you need to do is book online in advance at theskygarden.com. Here to our right-hand side ahead of us, though, we have London's very own warship, the C-35, the code name for Her Majesty's vessel, the Hms Belfast. The Belfast was built in the Harland and Wolff shipyard, Northern Ireland, in 1938. That is the same shipyard as the ill-fated Titanic was built. Later commissioned in 1939, she saw many theatres of war. She took part in the D-Day landings at Normandy, the North Atlantic convoys at the Battle of the Atlantic, and also the chasing, shelling and eventual sinking of the German battleship the Scharnhorst. She last fired her guns in anger during the Korean War, where she was in fact the flagship for the United Nations Army. Then said to be scrapped by the government, she was saved by the Imperial War Museum. The vessel now stands here today permanently and peacefully moored as a floating maritime museum to naval life at sea, and with 7 decks aboard her to explore, she is well worth a visit. Also, there you'll see the P2827. She's here on a courtesy visit to the upper port of London. She'll be here for a couple of days before continuing whatever duty she's on. Over here to our left-hand side now, though, we have one of the most historical landmarks anywhere in the world, the Tower of London. Started in 1078 by William the Conqueror. He actually started the centrepiece, the main tower with the 4 turrets, which is either called the White Tower or the Norman Keep. And if you look at the 4 turrets on top of the building, you notice they all look different. They're all different designs. That's because each one of them was designed by a different following reigning monarch. They wanted to put their own personal touch on the tower, so that's why they all look different. In its time, the tower has been many things: a palace, a fortress, a royal mint, believe it or not, a zoo, but more importantly, of course, a place of execution. Look to the river's wall on your left, and you'll see the top of the bricked-up archway with the words "Entry to the Traitors' Gate." That's where traitors of nobility, who were rowed downriver from the old Westminster Palace, they were taken up through that archway and up onto Tower Hill, Tower Green, where they were later executed, which was more often than not their heads being chopped off. The night before they were due to be executed, they was usually stored in a park called the Bloody Tower. You can't see that today because it's behind the bloody trees. And the bridge directly ahead of us, arguably the most famous and photographed bridge anywhere in the world, known as the gateway to the city, the Tower Road Bridge. Completed in 1894 at the cost of just under £1 million.